Good morning, everyone. This is a day in my life as an engineer at Amazon. I like to start off my day with some coffee, so I head into the kitchen and make myself a cup of coffee. Although I have the option to stay at home and work a little bit before I go to the office, I usually choose to get some morning steps in, so I choose to walk. My usual mornings at Amazon involve checking my emails just to make sure I'm caught up from the night before, and a stand-up meeting. I have stand-up meetings from once to 3 times a week. For stand-up meetings, we discuss the progress of our project, any blockers that need to be addressed, and also plan out tasks for the day, the week, or a 2-week sprint period. Then I'm usually off to work on the first task of the day. However, sometimes we have these amazing big meetings, and those involve the all-hands meeting. The all-hands meeting is a meeting for everybody in the company. I've gotten a chance to actually see Jeff Bezos speak at one of these events. Otherwise, if it's one of the regular mornings, I finish up some of the tasks that I'm working on, and I might take a mid-morning walk. Occasionally with someone's dog from the office. There's so many dogs in the office, it makes the workplace really amazing. Then around lunchtime, I like to go for a salad or a poke bowl. Those are really amazing options. I also like to go for the hot foods bar in Whole Foods or any other restaurant around there. Sometimes I also cook my own meal. I like to eat my lunch either with coworkers or outside in the sun, catching any event that's going on, because there's so many Amazon buildings in Seattle and there's always something going on outside, like a farmer's market or some sort of show. After heading back to the office and getting some more work done, I might feel a little tired, or I might want to change my work location, so I walk over to one of the other buildings and get a nice view while I'm working. I also love going to the Spheres and working out of there. It might take a minute or two to kind of find a place to sit, because a lot of other people also want to work there. After getting some tasks done again, I like to head back to my office, so that will be another walk that I get in the day. When I was a hardware engineer, before I moved on to software side of things, I also used to do some 3D printing, so I take time out of my day to also focus on physical tasks that don't involve just my computer. Around the end of the workday, which sometimes might be 5 p.m. or sometimes as late as 7 p.m., I like to catch views of the sunset from one of the offices or stroll downtown and head back to my place. After work hours is also a very cool time to be in downtown Seattle. You get to see everybody and their dog walk home or take one of the buses or their car. On my way back to my place, I might pass by Amazon Go, which is one of the first teams that I worked at Amazon. There are many things that I like about Seattle, and the Space Needle is one of them, and it's always cool to catch a glimpse of it from a different building or directly, especially again around sunset. After work, I might go for a workout, or I might chill upstairs on my rooftop by myself or with friends, or I may make plans to go out with friends for the night. It's always fun to go out and do something, the occasional concert, or going out to eat, or doing some touristy things like getting a tour of Seattle. And so after that, I get back home. Believe it or not, after getting back home, the workday is still not over. Working as an engineer can be an exciting job, but sometimes it does take long hours to finish your tasks. At Amazon, your goal usually is to get a project from point A to point B, and not necessarily just spending a good number of hours at work. So this usually means working a couple hours a night. And this also happens because your work is generally on your laptop, and so you take your laptop home with you, and so you're never really logged off. And if you have something in your head that you really want to get done, you just pull up your laptop and start working on it. However, there are some drawbacks that come with this. A big drawback that I can think of is just not really setting work hours for yourself and extending into the late hours of the night, which can mess up your sleep schedule and maybe even eventually lead to burnout. And this can be more difficult if you have family or kids, or you have other responsibilities that you need to attend to and you simply don't have the time to put into work at the end of the day. However, this is not mandatory at all, but I do notice others in different teams also getting tasks done in the evening. While this can be a demanding schedule and not everybody's first choice, there can be some benefits to working in the evening. Firstly, working in the evening can mean less distractions and interruptions, and I've definitely noticed this in my teams. When you're in the office, there are people walking by who might want to come and ask you questions and things of that sort, so it is easy to get distracted. Of course, your work teams might still be messaging away and trying to get your attention even if you're not physically in the office, but there is a level of distraction and interruptions you can avoid by working in the evening. And I'm definitely not recommending working in the evening. I've just found it to be the case. So again, this focused time in the evening can be a great way to give the projects you're working on all the attention that they need. Another benefit is just the flexibility of your work hours. Say for example, you need to take a couple of hours off during the daytime, whether it's to go to a doctor's visit or meet up with someone that you need to, or let's say you just didn't feel like you were very productive during the day and there's something you need to get done in the evening. It gives you that flexibility of the job because you have the tool that you need to work with you, and that's your laptop. So it is a double-edged sword, but if an engineer needs to take care of family or personal matters during the day, they could take the time to do that and still catch up on work. But you really have to be careful if you're putting in any hours of work during the evening. You really have to maintain the amount of time you're working. It is easy to keep working into like the late hours of the night and disrupt your sleep schedule. That could really have like a negative impact on your health and your physical and your mental health over time. The big thing you want to avoid here is burnout. If you're working day and night for months and months and years, you are going to get burned out. So please avoid getting burned out by setting a schedule for yourself, respecting your boundaries, and also kind of enforcing these boundaries for others at work to respect them for you. So finally, after a few hours of work, I am usually done, and that is when I squeeze in any amount of face care that I can before I head to sleep. So subscribe if you want to see my future videos, and comment a spaceship if you've made it to the end, or comment anything that you found interesting in this video. Thanks for watching.